I played 7 popular FPS titles this year, counting Halo Infinite, Call of Duty Warzone, The Finals, Battlefield 2042, Overwatch 2, Rainbow Six Siege, and Counter-Strike 2. And in this video, we're going to be taking short little deep dives into the pros and cons of each game and if you should be playing them this year. So first up, of course, we gotta talk about Halo Infinite. The pros for Halo Infinite. They have a great community content system built through Forge that 343 also pushes on the regular, with tons of new modes to play with friends. I mean, tons of modes. They added through Rumble Pit, they added through Big Team Battle. There's so much content to actually play here through the actual game modes. It's crazy what 343 has done with the community and Forge as well. It also took 343 a while, but they did bring Halo Infinite to a playable state from what we had back in 2021. Now, if you weren't a Halo Infinite player back in 2021, I'll give you a quick example. Big Team Battle was broken for a month. That is how broken this game was at launch, but it is good that they brought the game back to form, and look, we can say we made a playable game considering what we had at launch. The final current pro I want to talk about for Halo Infinite is the Spartan coin system, where you can actually unlock it through playing the game. Yes, you can actually play the game to earn a currency to unlock skins, albeit it takes a lot of said currency and a long time to grind in order to unlock those rewards, but it's good that 343 finally added a system where you can earn armor and stances and emblems for free. Unfortunately, here comes the cons of Halo Infinite. The microtransactions and prices of skins are still extremely expensive. Paying $30 for 3 skins for an armor core is egregious. I don't understand why 343 thinks that they have a system like Fortnite where all their skins are super cool. Some people are going to be buying armor cores at once a time to make themselves look cool. No one, and very little people I hope, are buying the full-on bundles. It makes no sense. The removal of seasons as well in favor of operations have brought the game down from a content every 3 months to content every 1 or 2 months, which might seem better for its life cycle, but the content updates keep getting smaller and smaller, and the operations cost money to buy, of course, like battle passes, but again, 20 levels worth of content is not enough when we used to have 150 levels worth of content with tons of stuff to unlock in it. Halo Infinite is also basically on life support as 343 moves on to the next Halo game. No major updates to the sandbox through new weapons or vehicles in the game. Matchmaking can take actual minutes to find big team battle matches. One of Halo's biggest modes takes literal minutes to find, and that may not seem like a long time, but at launch, it took maybe 20 seconds. And finally, a lack of players means the lack of support for Halo Infinite, and the rush to move on to the next big Halo project, especially since Halo Infinite was supposed to be a 10-year-long live service game. I will let you decide for yourselves from the information I've given you on whether you should play Halo Infinite, but it is a free-to-play game, so it's only really a waste of your time if you don't enjoy it. No monetary interest or sign-up needs to be given. Next up, we're going to be talking about the game that really surprised me when it came to when I was actually playing these 7 games, Battlefield 2042. Battlefield 2042 has great gunplay, and the map updates and new additions have been absolutely awesome to come in years later and play once again. The revolving modes like the 128 player rush mode that came out like a week ago was tons of fun to play. I really hope they bring it back because I actually really enjoyed playing that mode. It was so much fun. Maps are beautiful and spanning all over the world, so many different biomes. In 2024, classes are actually back with operators as well, so you can pick and choose what you want. You can have specific operators and then you can pick a class for them. They didn't keep the same weird system where you could only have certain operators that can do certain things. There's the support, there's medic, there's snipers, and then there's obviously assault. And finally, tons of weapons to level up and unlock through gameplay as well. And I mean tons of guns to unlock, so many different attachments, so just much is here content wise, and the game when I bought it was like $8, so definitely something that you should be picking up. Unfortunately though, even though Battlefield 2042 in my opinion was the most fun game to play on this list, there are still cons with the game. The maps in 2042, depending on the modes you play, can be way too big. Vehicles can still be broken at times against infantry, which needs better balancing. The in-game store can be expensive when it comes to the weapons and player skins, but a lot of them do look really cool. The new Dead Space mode, which is kind of like their kind of infection zombie mode, is absolutely unbearably mid. I don't understand what they were thinking. It looked really cool in the trailers, but if you've ever played Fallout 4, I swear the enemies sounded like synthetic humans. They sounded like synths. The game can sometimes take forever to find matches, and when you do, they're almost never completely full. Even in simple deathmatch modes, it's usually 32v32, you might be lucky to get 15v15. A lack of players means that lack of support for the game. Even though 2042 does have a higher player count than, say, Halo Infinite, it is more likely than not DICE has 100% abandoned the game after its final update and is now pushing towards the next version of Battlefield. Next, we are going to be moving on to Rainbow Six Siege, and I need a little disclaimer before we start. When I played this game years ago, I actually accumulated over 200 hours, or almost 200 hours, of playtime, so coming back to this game after several years was definitely just like, oh my god, I played this game so much before. I am definitely not in my prime, as you'll see in the gameplay. I'm still kind of mid at the game, but I had so much fun playing it again. So the pros of Rainbow Six Siege. The new arcade modes were fun to play. I actually really liked playing the deathmatches, the free-for-alls. I don't know if these have been in the game for a long time, but this is the first that I'm finding them. I'm actually really enjoying them. The new balancing systems that were added, I really enjoyed. I really like the systems as well, where players can have both a good and bad standing in the community. You can have bonuses like bonus renown and bonus XP, or you can have penalties like 50% less renown, so you'll get less currency if you're a jackass and you like to team kill, right? Players define how you are in the game. I really enjoy that. Again, I don't know if these are fully new to the game or if these have been here for a while and I've just never noticed, but the new deathmatch modes and Rainbow have given me a reason to keep playing as I've grown out of that tactical shooter aspect. I loved tactical shooters when I was younger, man. When I played this game several years ago with the boys, it was so much fun, but now I'm kind of more into the fast-paced shooting. I can really be bothered with the tactical stuff, so it's definitely cool to see that Ubisoft has been bringing in other modes for the players who don't just want to keep playing the tactical shooting that they've been working with for the past 7 years, and that they've been working with so well as well. The majority of the guns in the game now have access to all attachments, instead of the restrictions that were put on the players, like us, years ago. And the new limited time modes are also pretty cool when they are added into the game. Funny enough, the cons in Rainbow Six Siege are actually just really pushed towards monetization issues. So the microtransaction shop and the battle pass and the new subscription service that they just added recently has not been, bringing a good reputation for the game and towards the player base. Even though, most likely more than not, hardcore players will probably still be paying for these things. And after 7 years of not playing it, I've expected more operators, honestly. I think they added like 3 more for attackers and defenders. I feel like there should be a lot more, especially since I haven't played the game for several years. It's kind of crazy, but they've of course just been adding new ways to monetize other systems. Overall, the main issues I do have with the game again are just forced to monetization, sort of. Like, the core game is still very fun. The modes are still very fun. It's just the monetization I feel like could be worked better, but it's Ubisoft and they're probably making a crap ton of money off of it. They're most likely not going to be changing anything just because I said that they should be. The next game we're going to be looking at is actually one that I haven't played before, The Finals. With The Finals, I actually really enjoy the game show-esque systems that the game is going for, like the announcers and the way that you come in and the way that they'll announce when a kill is first made or when points are taken. I actually really enjoy that, and for a free-to-play game, it seems like there's a lot of effort put in here for a free-to-play game. I was available to play as a medium character, the heavy character, and the small character. I love playing as the heavy just because I'm given a rocket launcher, and honestly, rocket launching someone through a door and then immediately running at them with a machine gun, and especially when I'm fighting the smaller characters, just makes it so much more fun. And from what I've seen out of playing it, there's a ton of stuff to unlock as well, like a lot of stuff that you can earn the currency and money from during matches and what you can spend it on to unlock stuff. The graphics and art style are also extremely top tier, and the game modes, and the cash out game mode in particular, I would say is my favorite with the 3 teams of 3, just a ton of fun to play. But of course, there are also cons to the finals. The time to kill can be extremely slow. I get it is a difference between a small, medium, heavy characters. The respawns can also take forever, and I understand these gameplay mechanics are mainly they're complaints because I come from first-person shooters that are a lot more fast-paced, like Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Halo, where this game needs a lot more precision. So understandably so, these are just my gripes with the game. These aren't really the cons that I would say everyone is going to have, but just me in particular. But no doubt though, I had a lot of fun playing this game, and I'm probably going to be live streaming it as well. When I do my live stream nights, this game was a lot of fun to play, and I'm hopefully going to be playing a lot more of it in the future. The next game we are taking a look at is Counter-Strike 2. Counter-Strike 2 I have never played before, and no, I have not played the main first Counter-Strike as well, and this game is exclusive to Steam. The pros of Counter-Strike 2. Actually, really good, but also basic, solid gameplay. Like, it's simple. There's not a lot of fast-pacedness to it. It's very basic, but it's also very good. The amount of game modes to choose from by either practicing with bots or with players is astonishing. Looking through them all, it's just crazy. The time to kill is near perfect. I really feel like it's more realistic than anything. Headshots always kill someone. The time to kill is just very well done, like just near perfection. The graphics are solid, the player base is massive, so you have no issues finding game modes, and outside of the player market, the microtransactions are actually pretty tame compared to other games as well, especially because Counter-Strike 2 is free to play. Now the cons are actually also pretty tame as well. My new gen first-person shooter playing ass, doesn't like that you can't sprint all of the time. I know it's just how some game modes are designed, and that's about it for the cons of Counter-Strike 2. I really enjoy it, and for all of the games on this list, it has only one con that I could say, and it's just because the gameplay isn't up to, the modern standards that I would expect. Not even standards, but just what more modern games have, like Call of Duty, Halo, and Battlefield, those main three, where you kind of sprint all the time, where in Counter-Strike, it's a lot more close, a lot more together, and a lot more structured than the other games. The next game that we're going to be taking a look at, and the game that actually really surprised me, is Overwatch 2. And another disclaimer, this is another first-person shooter game that I have played for the first time. I feel like I've played Overwatch 1, years ago when it came to Xbox Gold, but I think I played it for 30 minutes and didn't like it, so coming back to it now, basically a new experience for me. The pros for Overwatch 2. Great gameplay, good variety in modes so far, at least for playing it just for a short amount of time. I've seen to be absolutely nutty as well. I'm going off. I'm basically, my first few games, I've only been going positive in kills, and I've actually been going absolutely insane. I went 15-0 on one game, man. I was absolutely going off. Great variety in the characters you can play as well. I love playing as Reaper, probably my new main for the entire game as what I'm going to be playing. Now the cons for Overwatch 2, and these are some big ones. I was not a fan of not only having to make an account, which I understand you have to make a Blizzard Battle.net account, that's fair. The bigger issue is I was not a fan of having to give up my phone number in order to establish an account. I understand completely it's to stop cheaters and to do a lot of other stuff, and I did it for the sake of the video so you guys could see my opinion on it and gameplay, but still, I was not happy with that, but at least I am enjoying the game. The balancing seems really weird. I feel like sometimes I'm doing too much damage, because again, the one game I did, 15-0, went way too off. And the microtransaction store seems to be a topic of controversy, but it is a free-to-play title, so as long as skins aren't excessively grossly priced into hundreds of dollars, it should seem fine. Overall, Overwatch 2, it does seem like it's a fun game, but it looks like as well that the community isn't a fan of how Blizzard has been handling the game recently, as well as with the lack of new game modes like they promised on Overwatch 2, like a promised campaign and single player. I remember seeing these issues where the community was like, look, you guys promised us a single player game mode, where is it? We want it, and they canceled it in favor, of course, because they're making so much money with just the microtransactions and the game modes that they have now. The last, and will be considered the least of this entire list, is Call of Duty Warzone. The pros of this game. The gunplay is a ton of fun, and playing correctly with randoms using strategy and skill is a great experience. Having a proximity chat is something I feel like all battle royales should have, because Call of Duty Warzone's proximity chat is probably one of the most fun mechanics in the game, being able to talk with other players. I've had situations where these little kids are just absolutely trash talking me, and I'll kill them, and then I'll just go off on them. I'll be like, yeah, what were you saying? What were you saying? I'd have to record it for you guys to really see it. I haven't been able to do that again for these recordings, but I was super excited, and proximity chat is just so much fun. There are tons of characters and operators to choose from if you do unlock them. The maps for Warzone are massive, but the game does keep the action together pretty well, and always be ready for fights, and adapting to fights is needed, and I absolutely love that. You can't just be spraying all the time. Sometimes strategy is needed. And the cons for Call of Duty Warzone. The microtransaction shop is bigger than the file size for the whole ass game, I swear. I know Call of Duty Warzone's over 100 gigabytes, but it feels like the majority of it goes to the microtransaction store. With dozens of expensive bundles to choose from, I know it's a free-to-play game, but this is excessive. The balancing with some guns as well, I feel like needs to be reworked in some areas. It's just, the game is mainly spray. It's fair. There can be strategy here, but it's either you snipe or you spray. Those are the main two viable options. And the matchmaking times, oh my god, I couldn't even get actual gameplay footage for this video because of the matchmaking times. I was just sitting in queue for so long, and I don't know if it was because the servers were down, and I checked if I was banned. I wasn't banned, so I don't know why it was taking literal... I never even got into a game when I could record for this video during my recording times. So it was so unnecessarily long and just super annoying. I'm hoping this isn't a regular issue, but oh my god, Activision, if this is, you guys need to fix this. And there you guys have it, 7 FPS titles in 2024 that I have looked over, giving you guys pros and cons of each of them. If you did enjoy this video, consider leaving a like, sharing, commenting, and subscribing if you so choose to, because if at the time of recording this video and as of the time of uploading, should be a Monday morning. In 1 week, we're going to be going for a full channel rebrand, and if you want to see what that's like, consider leaving a like, sharing, commenting, and subscribing if you so choose to. Thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you all for watching once again.